Today's episode of the One Player Podcast is brought to you by Joester Strudels. Oh, that's a breakfast! Yes, indeed. Welcome to the Single Player Podcast / One Player Podcast. Even I don't know anymore. Fuck it. Fuck it. In case I didn't do it, you might have seen me on Twitter or Skype that my headset that I usually use for the multi-tap was broken. Yeah, they always kind of mess up after like a year and change. I lose the whatchamacallit on that. The one side of the headphone no longer works to like fiddle with the wires, and I pulled it out too hard and lost that one side completely. So I was like, well, this pair's fucked. I gotta go get another one. And I usually get them at my Best Buy, but they didn't have them. I was looking for like headsets for like whatchamacallits, and like I found these ones with the two jacks. It's an Insignia Deluxe Stereo PC headset. The better quality headphones because they like surround the ear. Only my head's too goddamn big for these, you know. So they only surround like maybe like good 80% of my ears. The microphone thing is adjustable, quote unquote, and I say adjustable because I can't really extend it, and it only reaches like my cheek instead of like right in the fucking front of me where I need it to reach. And I see no way to extend it. The volume is whatchamacallit. So yeah, Insignia Deluxe Stereo PC headset. It makes me sound like I'm talking to. I check the call quality, like I do that Skype test call thing, and I sound like I'm in a fucking drive-thru. So I ordered online the actual headset I do use, the Logitech. That's the one I'm talking about. That's the ones like same amount of money I would have spent on them. So it's like, yeah, not gonna worry about that. What have I been doing this week? My summary for right now. I played a more. It keeps frustrating the hell out of me. This Pokemon Shuffle, because now they're doing like this once a day thing with a Pinsir, and I've only managed to get it to like 18% or 22% catch rate, and I keep missing. Today's the final day of that, so after this podcast, I'm gonna try. Either I get it or I don't. At this point, and I'm just like, ugh. And I looked up. It was something for the other game, the Pokemon Rumble. I keep missing the two up, and I was mixing them up beforehand, and now they actually have the Rumble game, and it's really starting to throw me off. Damn it. Pokemon Rumble World. Somebody by the name of what was he? Oh, here it is. I don't know why I put it down in a different area, but I'll put this in the annotations and in the link below, however I do. I want to share this with y'all. It's from a YouTuber by the name of Dungeon RPG, How to Catch Any Pokemon in Rumble World. It's basically get a Rattata and teach it Endeavor, especially when you get like a high enough rank or level where you can like, oh, you can teach your Pokemon any move from this machine. It's like, alright, go in here, spend 1,800 to learn Endeavor. Because it cuts down on their HP. Like, it'll cut down to where your HP level is, and after a while it'll just do 1 point of damage each. And what you're trying to do is hit it over and over again until it starts to like wobble or whatever. That's when you know you can actually catch the thing, and you just hit it with another move or something like that. I have I forget what it was. I forget what the move it was, but it was like a 2-star normal move. I can't remember the name of it, but I would swing with it, and then I wouldn't be able to move. It would like keep me still for a while. I'm like, okay, this move sucks. Let me get something that I can get out of danger before I get bodied. So I switched it out with Crunch. So I'm like, okay, level 4-star dark move. I spent another 1,800. Okay, I spent actual real money on diamonds because I want to get more whatchamacallits out there because build my rank up a little bit. Because I've completed 2 balloons already. I think I completed the leaf balloon and the dew balloon. You know, you're starting. The first one 2 you start off with. So I've completed them. Like, I got in every single Pokemon in those that you can get in them. The later balloons are starting to get a little heavier because the first balloons you'd get like 3 places to go. Now I'm looking at like 5 different places I could hit up. 6 different places on one I could hit up, and they're, it's random too, so it's like a lot of replaying, unless you're willing to spend diamonds and stop, and then you can like actually choose on that place. I think I spent a little too much diamonds on that place. Well, I can get more. Well, I'll get another card, I guess. I was able to buy like 1,000 diamonds and just get all that together. So, I've been finally completed the Adventure Time, like the main thing. I'm still trying to go through Nightosphere. I had a hard time with that a little bit. And there is a thing where you complete all the mini quests from this one from Starchu. Like if you get all his, or I think it's like if you complete all the quests, he gives you like a token. It's like an unlimited supply of a sweater of some sort, and it takes up all your token slots. But what it does is it makes the game easier. Like it makes the Nightosphere in there easier, and I was able to get my way to like level 10, and then I was fucking trampled to death or burned with the lava. Ugh, I had so much trouble with that, and to actually see that appear again, and like because you gotta fight through all the bosses again, and they're a little tougher now. But I'm still repping Ice King just because he can freeze things, and I have him maxed out, and I'm just throwing whatchamacallits. I want to use Fire Princess, but she only has like one token slot, and I'm like, That's the only problem. She's probably like really, really strong. She just only has like one token slot, which actually might work out in down there, because I guess she can float and has like the fire thing. I don't know. I haven't used her, but I'll give her a try. After I max out her stats, of course. I gotta like pump her up and whatever. Make sure everybody's on that, because I know those are a thing. I did a thing I was gonna do for my blind LP, but I was gonna do that today, but I'll post it up like tomorrow or Wednesday, whenever I feel like doing that. I'm still going through. Well, no, what it was, I was like, because I was kind of by myself, and I was like doing Nightosphere stuff, and I was like, wow, that kind of pissed me off, especially after the week I've had where I lost the headphones, and then like over the weekend I lost my fucking washer, so now I gotta get that. I gotta call someone down here and get that replaced, so they'll be coming in like a couple of days from now. So yeah, I got that to look forward to. But yeah, I've been trying to like, all right, let me play a game that's, I might calm down a little bit, just because this week can go fuck itself. Last week, hopefully this one's go better. I hope. But yeah, I was because I hadn't played it in a while. I'm like, wow, how far was I in Kingdom Hearts 1.5? Oh, I'm in Atlantica. Okay, well, I just gotta wrap up a couple things. Go fight Ursula. I battled Oogie Boogie. I'll be jiggered. Nothing. Come on, baby. That's my favorite. As long as you know what the fuck you're doing, you gotta step on the right thing. I thought they were color coded, but no, I don't know. It's been forever ago since I played the Kingdom Hearts game. Yeah, it shows. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do that. What's one speed run trophy? I'm not that fast in RPGs. I want to grind my ass off. Maybe I do They say the beginner thing. They give you like a whole bunch of shit to start off with. So maybe that's the way to go. I would assume. I don't know how easier that game is. I'm going on standard right now and just trying to get everything. That'll be my thing where I get. Mostly I was doing that to get like I finished Atlantic. I finished Halloween. I was like, okay, because I remember I wrote down like a handy dandy list on Notepad, like all the what are they? The items you need to synthesize all the shit in the game, like to get the ultimate weapon and all that, because that's what you gotta synthesize everything else, like the Moogle Workshop FAQ or something like that. That's what it was. So yeah, I got that going down, and it's like, okay, I need this many. Oh, I got one. Now I update it, and it's like, now I need this much more. And once I get all of them, I'll just erase that and cross it out and be like, okay, now I can focus on this enemy and go for this. I like the newer enemies in those. For like the newer enemies, the final mix kind of, that Chimera thing actually wasn't too difficult to work with. I thought he'd be like really, really powerful because he has a lot of HP, but no, you can just like, you hit him a bunch and he'll summon like gargoyles, and you can just boot on them and get like a bunch of experience. Especially now that I've gotten I completed the Pooh world as well. I gotta go back and do that muddy path again if I want cheer. I got everything else. Like I looked that up too, and I'm like, okay. So yeah, that's mostly what I've been playing. Ah yes, gaming news. Give me a moment. Oh right, I don't have Kizzy's site, so I can't cover a whole bunch of shit. So I just have my thing, which is it's just the reveal of Yoshimitsu's new look for Tekken 7. He's, I guess, tentacles and like weird back things are popular in this game, because we saw Gigas beforehand who had all the weird tube things, and now it's Yoshimitsu with octopus tentacles. And he can dual wield. Yeah, he has actually got another sword to use that for his critical art or whatever they call that in that game. So, I don't know. Did he get darker, I guess, because of the whatchamacallit? Because it was that ending where he grabs the other, or maybe it was just the devil thing from Azazel, and it became the sword. It became another sword for him, and it just became like this really broken, powerful kind of thing. Like he got all dark and evil, kind of like evil Ryu-ish kind of thing. I forget. It's been a while since I played Tekken 6. I just remember that at one of his endings, it just he was corrupted by the sword's power or something like that. So I don't know. It's Yoshimitsu. You can't fucking tell. It's a cool costume. I still like the third one the most from Tekken 3, and I'm glad Street Fighter Cross Tekken used that one. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah. Scoping for it. No, I actually had one. I forgot about the last podcast, and I kept for a couple weeks. You might have seen her on General Hospital for like a couple years. I mostly know her as Mila Maxwell from Tales of Xillia. Manai Noji. She has her YouTube actually updated a couple things after like a couple months back, like almost a year. And then I looked at her YouTube again. I'm like, oh, she has a YouTube? I'm like, okay. On her YouTube, she has like a little web miniseries called Love Midori. Basically like doing speed dating and trying to find the perfect guy or something like that. So she's got a couple episodes on there. So check it out. The other one, this one came more recently, and I'm going to give the assist to Raiden Wings on this one, because I remember hearing this distinct voice, and because I didn't have an 360 or Xbox, I wanted to know how Rumble Rose's Double X kind of revamped everything. I'm like, okay, let's see how this looks for something like more current gen at the time. And you get like this announcer like, parts unknown, the Crimson Phantasma! You know, super hype intro. I'm like, wow, whoa, where the fuck was this? PS2. And then it is like I'm getting like direct messages on Twitter, and he's talking to me about Lenny Hart is this person. And it showed her like a thing from Kinnikuman Nisei, where it's trying to remember the actual English name. It's Kid Muscle and Kevin Mask, and she's just like Kinnikuman Mantaro. Like, holy shit, roll them fucking R's. She's known on YouTube as like the screaming pride lady, but she's like, I don't scream. She's like, I'm crazy. She said like there was like an interview on her. It's like I'm crazy. I'm the pride lady, but I don't scream. I'm like, yeah. She's more like super hard projecting and the trilling thing. Like, holy shit. I aspire one day to just like to have that on like. Can you imagine that in a fucking WWE segment? Like, from Greenwich, Connecticut, the CEO of the WWE, Triple H. Oh. Whew. Blow what's-his-name out of the water, because... it doesn't work there anymore. We don't get no more John Cena. Like, she'd murder that. She'd be like, from West Newbury, Massachusetts, the United States champion, John Cena. I'm getting lightheaded again. Need to calm my ass down. Renoa, you're too hype. I know. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm not, but anyway. Oh my god, that would be the best. So thank you to Raiden Wings for that one. Raiden with the assist. Alright. Let me calm down and talk about snacking for Renoa. Had a couple things over the couple weeks that since last podcasted. Everfresh Strawberry Lemonade, a new brand. I've seen a couple of these Everfreshes. Like, they're like in big glass bottles. Big 24 on the side, so a big old splash of that stuff. So I'm like, okay, let me go get more of these probably. I'm pleased with the size. The lemon's a little stronger than the strawberry. That happens. You're saying strawberry. That doesn't happen. The strawberry. Lemon's a little stronger than the strawberry. Yeah, sometimes that happens. But still, I liked it a lot. It reminded me of, they have them in Wawa. They're a Calypso brand, and they were like 2 for $3, and all of them are really good. So if you see them, you're local and you see them around you, pick them up. Definitely recommend them. Yeah, they used to be like on sale all the time. They used to be for like 2 for $3 or something like that. So I'd get a couple of them. And just be like, I don't think they do those anymore, unfortunately. Speaking of lemons, I finally found the lemon tasty cakes. Those are like the strawberry ones with the white frosting on the outside. I think these are a lot better than the lemon because the lemon is stronger flavor, so it's harder to hide behind. I say the strawberry tasty cake. They should have done the white frosting. They should have done like a chocolate or a dark chocolate to kind of, like dark chocolate would have worked best because that doesn't really have like a really strongness to it all by itself. Like you could more get away with something like that because I think that's what they did with the cherry, and that actually stood out a little bit. So that could have been better, the strawberry, but I like the lemon. That was pretty good. A Taco Bell original, and you can actually find this in stores too, like in bottles. Like they're really pushing this. Mountain Dew tries their hand at a citrus punch with Sangria Blast. I like this. I hope it stays around because right now it's one of those limited edition items, like are in for a limited time. They say that is. So they said the same thing about the Baja Blast. I may fucking replace that forever. I don't know. It's been a while since I had that. Maybe I just had like a bad batch. I don't know. I'll go back and try it again. But I just remember it being it's like rough stuff. So I don't know. But yeah, I found that in store. I haven't been to Taco Bell. I've been to Sonic though. Got me a chicken sandwich on a ciabatta bread. Very nice. Lots of chicken, just enough mayo. Like sometimes I can get the McDonald's thing with they all use their artisan rolls now. That's their big thing to try to health up a bit. And sometimes they use too much mayo, so I'm like, all right, let me do the Big Mac sauce, and that's like, that kind of combat that. I'm like, okay, that's actually works a lot better. My God, the fucking chili cheese tots. Foodgasm. I need a minute. Oh, no. Oh, my God. They did mess up the drink order, because, there's a lot of drinks. Like, I asked for the peanut butter fudge shake, which I got. That was really amazing, too. What my sister wanted was a cherry Sprite, or I think it was a Sprite or a cherry Sprite or something like that. And my mom was with us, so she wanted, that's what it was. She wanted the cherry Sprite, my mom wanted just the regular Sprite. And the cherry itself was, like, super overpowering, and she's like, and then there was, like, this other drink we got, and it's like, well, it's not Sprite, there's stuff in this, because they're both clearly red, and I'm like, oh, they messed up. And it's like, all right, well, you take this other one, then. I'm like, all right, I'll take the other drink. And, what I thought was, like, the cherry vanilla, like, the cherry Sprite, the other thing was like, okay, this one's even stronger. It's like, you take this one, I'm going to take this other Sprite. I'm like, all right, I'll try it again. And I'm like, this isn't cherry. This tastes like a watermelon slush. I'm like, okay, this is watermelon. And I'm like, okay, like, I think they messed up. And as I'm drinking it, eventually, I'm like, it's like, okay, it's not complete. It's still kind of frozen. It's like ice. I'm like, all right, I'll chew this. I'm like, wait, that's not ice. That tastes like candy. So I open it up, and there's Nerds, the Wonka Nerds candy in the slush. So I'm like, okay, this might be a choking hazard with the straw. I gotta be cautious with this one. So I'm like, so they flubbed the drink order, but I was still like, oh my God, I need this again. Like, especially them fucking chili cheese tots. Like, if nothing else you get at Sonic, get them. I super duper recommended. I'm gonna go back and maybe get like just a big order of that. Like it was over and done with. Like, it could be like a little thing. I'm like, no, give me the like. I feel like Mitch Hedberg, this is the give to charity portion of the chili cheese tots. I want to exchange this for the keep it. Yeah. Feed me more. Segway. Raw. Awesome. Like, one of the best of the year, honestly. And, of course, SmackDown crashed and burned and tried to keep up. Well, they didn't even try to, is what I should say. But, Raw kicks off with Randy Orton saying how payback is fitting, because that's what I'm going to get on Rollins. There ain't nothing Reigns or Rollins can do about that. Reigns comes out to disagree. Says, I want Rollins, and if you get in my way, got no problem going through you to get to him. Orton's reminding Reigns of his championship credentials and his consecutive Mania appearances. Where's your championship credentials, you? Reigns answers back with, I've beaten you at SummerSlam. And that got me to thinking, yeah, Orton's never really beaten Reigns before, the Shield, he's always had his number. And against one-on-one, they've never squared off before. That's still untested, so that could be interesting. So, before they come to blows, the New Day comes out. As Orton, unviper-like, is, Will Smith. Nod your head like this. Let me see you. Yeah. He's like, alright, I'm feeling this. He's like, yeah. He's off his meds again, or something, or whatever it was. That fucking thing where he, jumps in the air and just does that fucking leap and shit. The fuck? What are you doing? I guess it's because he's face now, he gets to do, OOC weird shit like that. It's just fun to watch. You just, half the time you're like, oh, the other half you're like, the fuck are you doing? From the other side of stage, Big E's like, don't let it bother you that Reigns. Don't let it bother you, Reigns. You never won the big one. And don't let it bother you, Orton, that Rollins has your number time and time again. He's got it, he's got your number so much, he's got it on speed dial. Oh, I got him. Got him. They say, Kane's giving us the go-ahead to face you two tonight. And by which I mean all of us. So it's going to be a 3-on-2 handicap match. I missed the second half of this. I came back to Orton singling out Kofi, of course. A huge reaction from the crowd as he RKO's Woods coming from behind. Roman goes for a spear, but inadvertently hits Orton. As Kofi pins Orton! New Day! Well, apparently is if fucking Kofi can actually win one on Randy Orton. Wow. And Kane comes out after the celebration and says, hey, I'm out here to exploit you two having differences, so you two are going to face off in the main event. Backstage, Rollins intercepts Kane. He says, you know what? You're like the spoiled, rotten kid who's bad all year, and then the night before Christmas tries and does some good to fool Santa into thinking you're a good apple. But the authorities coming back, and they're going to punish you for what you're doing to me. Kane's like, I was spending Christmas not with milk and cookies, but hiding in the chimney waiting with a poker for his chestnuts. Kind of want to see that play out. I was hoping it almost seems like a Jericho 222 joke. Like, oh, Kane, you gotta wait for Santa Claus. Oh, yes. You didn't get me that toy train. Sounds like Ned from South Park. I don't do that justice. I'm just gonna move on. Anyway. Kane's like, I can't have the champ take it easy while his opponents are in a match, so you versus Ambrose again tonight, and unlike on SmackDown, where you had me backing you up, no security or any outside interferences. Rollins is like, they want the interference fucking you were. And you're risking your champion not being 100%. Kane's like, you keep mouthing off, I can make it so you have, arm tied behind your back, both legs tied together, or you just tied to the fucking ring post as Ambrose beats on you. I was like, holy shit. So, of course, Rollins is like, okay. Rollins is still angry, but he's just, immediately backs off. Renee Young in the ring with Ryback, who says, I've had a couple of injuries, an ankle broke in 3 places as doctors told me I'd never wrestle again. Bray, I've faced fear my entire life, but I take that fear and negativity, eat it, turn it into positivity in the pit of my stomach. I'm hungry to entertain and connect with the fans as I feed off your chance of feed me more. Talking time's over and it's feeding time. Bray responds, you paint yourself as this untouchable force, but you're just a scared little boy. Scared people will see through your facade, but fear's a motivation causing us to pledge allegiance to a higher power. Everything you love and are afraid to lose will fade, and in time, so will you. Cesaro and Kid versus, oh hey, the Ascension. It's basically the WWE version of Lucas from Empire Records. We are the Ascension, and we still work here. Victor and Connor, both of them working on Tyson Kidd, so Cesaro has to come and make the hot tag and save it up. Just works the crowd. He keeps pushing Victor into the corner, just hitting these huge European uppercuts just from one corner to the other, just back and forth. Victor getting bodied as Connor get tossed out and splashed on by Kidd. Giant swing into the dropkick combination for the win. Thanks for coming, Ascension. Renee backstage now with Seth Rollins for his reaction having to face Ambrose, says, there's no point and Kane's an idiot. And Kane comes out before the two can even begin the match, says, Rollins, I've taken your sentiment that there's no point to this match, so let me make one. Ambrose, you beat Rollins tonight? You're in the main event for the title picture at Payback, and Seth is just fuming at this point. Seth's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, blah, 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 blah. And Kane's like, I'm tired of your bitching. The match and the stip is on, so here we go. Each of these guys taking each other's best shots, They get the finishes off, and they're still coming in. Both these guys proving their main event stars now. They've always been main event stars, kind of, but now it's just like more of the proof is in the pudding here. Ambrose gets powerbombed to the outside barricade and still has just enough to get back into the ring, almost get counted out. He's getting in at 9. J&J try to interfere as Rollins tries to roll up Ambrose. Ambrose gets said roll up first and gets the 3. He gets it off the distraction. He tries to get him on there, but yeah. Quite the couple of weeks for Dean Ambrose. His recent losses were due to outside bullshit. But he's won his first solo pay-per-view match at Extreme Rules when he Jazzy Jeffed Luke Harper. Now he's got a shot at being WWE World Champ. What's the main event again? Orton Reigns? Yeah. That was pretty much most of the fucks we gave for that one. So even though Orton was getting like most of the crowd support behind him, like he hit the RKO and they were like, yeah. They really, I guess they like face Orton. I don't know. Again, it's him doing just the weird shit like that, and they just like I want to see more of out of character Orton. Byron Saxton with Lana backstage on the about the positive reaction she's been getting as of late. She's like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. She's just like trying not to anger Rusev. Fandango comes on screen and says, "Don't be coy. Embracing the roar of the crowd is euphoric." His beatdown at the hands of Rusev in their match was anything but euphoric. He actually gets Lana on the outside to do a little fandangoing a little bit. She gets into it just before Rusev's gets pissed off and just clobbers Fandango. Fandango off the distraction brings the fight to Rusev, but eventually does get beaten, moved to submit to the accolade. R-Truth versus Stardust. And with a small grab bag of it's with stars on the outside of it. Dusty is a little upset he lost his chance to be king, in keeping with May the 4th calls Truth a womp rat. Did Stardust put a bunch of spiders in the bag? Because that would actually be clever heelnishness on Stardust's part. And indeed he did. Like, they were plastic, but he did officially defeat R-Truth, or maybe even gift pop him with such a devious plan. He's like, whoa, fucking spiders, fuck him! John Cena's White Boy Challenge continues, as the crowd is of course having none of what Cena has to say, while chanting, ole, 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 ole. Sami Zayn intensifies, ? Bret Hart's music hits first. He's like, no, I'm not out here to wrestle. He's like, I'm just out here to introduce a great wrestler, and apparently it's Heath Slater? No, not really. He interrupts and says, I won't let my moment get stepped on again. He gets in the ring, and Bret just like knocks him down, just slaps him and knocks him down. The roof damn near comes off as we actually do indeed get former NXT champion Montreal's own Sami Zayn. And probably what might be the match of the night. And a pretty big showing for Sami Zayn, like very almost sort of mirroring the John Cena Kurt Angle thing. It kind of felt like that a little bit. It didn't do like the heel thing at the end because Cena's got to be like huge face guy, but I still like. He lands on his shoulder as the ringside Sami Zayn does. He lands on his shoulder, so the ringside doctor has to check on him. And, stall the match for a little bit. And Zayn's like, he's trying to continue the match, trying to outfox Cena a little bit. The veteran catches him a bit, though, until Zayn explodes with a clothesline, gets a roll-up off of Cena. Like, Cena goes for the, you can't see me. And Zayn just, like, gets up and tries to roll him up. Sami Zayn confirmed for being able to see Cena. Cena gets his submission, Zayn gets the ropes. Zayn gets his submission, the Koji clutch on Cena, who he powers out, and Zayn turns that momentum into another roll-up for 2. Like, a very game Sami Zayn here. Like, Zayn lands on his ass from the Cena's attitude adjustment. I guess that's him fighting out of it, because he slips to the middle and the bottom rope. So yeah, at some point he's like, he does a thing where he like dives on the outside. It's like he slips through like the middle and bottom rope to get to Cena on the outside and DDTs him on the hard floor. Drags him back to the ring because he's got to pin him in the ring to win the title. Like, he can win the match, but he's not going to get the title off of it. He gets him back in the ring. It's another AA for 2. Cena's now in the ref's face on this one. Like, he thought that was 3. Like, and Zayn hits his finish, the Blue Thunder Bomb for 2 as well. Then Cena drops his springboard stunner into AA. Cena wins. The match was so good it made Cole remember he's a fucking commentator for this one and actually called this shit for 90% of it. Like, almost all of it, even. Like, that's how fucking good this match was. That's why I say it was, like, probably the match of the night. New Day still celebrating as well. I think they should. Getting huge win over arguably the 2 strongest main eventers in the company right now. Cesaro and Kid in their face saying to Woods, you got a PhD and you can't even tell that the crowd is saying New Day sucks? So they get in their face for a while. And they just run off as they do the New Day sucks thing. The Bellas come to the ring for a match. That's our show. We'll see you next week. Wait a minute! They come out to the ring and Naomi just apparently called up her new family tree and brought back Tamina Snuka. No Bellas wrestling tonight. Thank you, Naomi and Tamina. 3-Man Booth tweeted, in wrestling, getting braids is the female equivalent of growing the #heel beard. She kind of looks like, what's her name? The one girl from Tough Enough, Linda Miles, that's it. She's also Shaniqua in the WWE. I think she got a name change or something like that with all that black leather on. King Bara! He's wearing the cape and crown, teaming up with Sheamus against Ziggler and Neville, so I guess we're going to keep that feud going for a while. Sheamus with a bit of a shiner on him after last week. Neville eats another bullhammer after trying to leapfrog over the top rope Red Arrow attempt, so they win. Time for the main events! The Authority all have positions, like they're, one's the timekeeper, one's the ring bearer, like, one rings the bell. Seth Rollins is on commentary. I'm sorry, I was paying more attention to, Sword or Whip at this point. The new, like, Koji fused with Dracula, like the Portrait of Ruin kind of thing. That's what my headcanon was. Like, oh man. Eventually Sword went out for me, because Symphony of the Night I still play at least once a year or so. It's kind of a tradition of mine. Like, because it's an amazing game. But anyway, Orton gets sent to the outside as the Authority just opens up on him. Reigns over the top rope as well and sends Reigns into the ring post. Ambrose runs out to clean house. So it ends up Reigns spearing Rollins. Randy Orton RKO's Reigns, which doesn't sit well with Ambrose, so he's like, fuck you! Dirty deeds on Orton as this amazing Raw comes to a close. SmackDown opens up by finally letting the fucking King of the Ring winner, Bad News Barrett, be celebrated as such by Jerry Lawler. And Barrett's like, he's making one thing clear. The only king in the he's the only king in the WWE. I've earned that right by beating 3 men in 24 hours. Don't address me as an equal. Do the same thing all these commoners do and say 4 words. All hail King Booker! No, you know what I mean? Oh, I would have marked that fuck out if he said that. The trailer parks of Memphis don't have castles, so like the other phony King Elvis, the only throne you're fit to sit on's the toilet. I'm like, that'll get you some heelness. Because that's where we are, by the way. Jerry, he's like, bow down, basically, and Jerry, refuses. So Barrett's about to put the boots to him for Ziggler, and up saying, congrats, but you're not coming off like royalty, but a Renaissance reject. Good thing you dropped the scepter and Kane when you came out here, because now I'm about to drop you. And he does so in his match, and is about to win when Sheamus runs in and boots him down again. And Neville runs into even the odds as we transition to a tag match, playa. Holla holla. Barrett tries a roll-up with his feet on the ropes, but Neville on the outside scouts it and pushes the feet off. And while he's looking at Neville, wondering, what the fuck are you doing? Ziggler zigzags him immediately and wins. Renee backstage with Dean Ambrose is about his now 1 out of 4 odds of walking out the WWE champ at Payback. He's like, a lot better than before I beat Rollins on Monday. I'm not really a math guy. I don't care for rules, schedules, or, what's the name of those kind of people that hold you back and keep you down? Authority! They can't factor in a fatal 4-way. Anybody can win this, and I'm personally interested in the contract signing for this match tonight. Luke Harper annihilates Fandango in his match, and then Eric Rowan comes out and does the same. Leaves his mask behind in the ring as Harper looks on confused. So much for that first turn, I guess. Maybe we're bringing back the white. I don't know. Lana in the ring smiling, but she's like, please, do not cheer for me. It angers Rusev. Speak of the Bulgarian brute, he shall appear. Rusev Machka. He gets in the ring and yells at her to go to the back. Like, get back here. Tell Cena your victories were flukes. You showed Sami Zayn mercy on Monday. That's a weakness. One I won't show on you at the Extreme Rules, and I will see you next Monday and to your face tell you why you'll say I quit. Renee Young now back with Roman Reigns now. She says, given your history with the other 3 competitors, is there any conflicting emotions? He's like, nah. I've been rivals with Orton from day one. Hate everything about Rollins now. Ambrose is my brother, but I know how crazy he is to do anything to get what he wants. But it ain't gonna be enough. I'm too focused and ready for that. All 3 members of the New Day in action once again, but this time it's against Cesaro and Kid. Only this time, it's not a handicap match, it's actually a 6-man tag playa. And their partner they had to find Ryback, who is mostly in control for all this match till he's distracted by Bray Wyatt's little vignette, little thing that the music and the dot. It shows up, but him not actually appearing. So it allows Kofi to get a small roll-up win over Tyson Kidd off the distraction. I think was the legal man at the time. Renee Young with Randy Orton, asking if Orton's rethinking his strategy now with Ambrose in the mix. He says, strategy? I'll hit whoever's close with me with an RKO to get back what's mine. Oh, hey, it's Emma. Welcome back. Good showing against Naomi, but still jumps to her ass. Renee with Seth Rollins. He says, I'm the man who makes the impossible possible and made believers out of the universe when I cashed in and won at Mania. Renee brings up Kane's contributions to that, and he dismisses them, says, Kane's irrelevant and jealous of my success. He's the reason this is a fatal 4-way. It's all his fault that this is coming out like this. But as always, I have a plan. Mucha Lucha Dragons! It's WWE's version, I guess, of a Lucha Underground match, except no one gives a shit because the other team is the Los Matadors, and no one gives a shit about the Los Matadors, so the Dragons win. The contract signing, which Kane oversees. Everybody's sitting at the table for the signing except Rollins, who's very, very smartly staying outside on the ring, like where the entranceway is. Ambrose is like, hey, Justin Bieber, get down here and bring the hobbits with you. Rollins is like, oh, that sharp tongue of yours never really was my style, and yet still sounds better than Reigns forming a coherent sentence. I'm not going out there. Kane's my proxy. He'll sign my name for me. And Kane's like, well, yeah, I remember you saying, I'm irrelevant, and if you're injured and can't sign, I could, as your proxy, do it for you, but you're looking pretty good health to me, so how about you come on down here, And of course, he gets his goons to go retrieve the contract and tries to stir the pot, basically saying, Reigns, you used to call Ambrose Little Red Rowdy Piper back when he tried to be entertaining. Ambrose says Reigns couldn't wrestle out of a paper bag, and Bo said that Randy was an entitled prick who was only there because of his daddy. So he signs the contract, and in Kane's face now, he starts to argue, and Ambrose very coolly just starts pushing chairs aside. He's clearing the ring, and he puts the table on the end. He's like, Ambrose is like, we all know where this is going, but I'm calling dibs on this fucking table. There's one last thing, and everybody gets into it as Rollins ends up standing tall at the end of that match with the title, and that's SmackDown. Didn't want to end the podcast on that because I did, I was trying to take a break a little bit, rehydrate, kind of, maybe do whatever I have to do to kind of keep the energy level high for one of these together, because it is just me just going for like 40, 50, an hour long. Yeah, you gotta pace yourself sometimes. But I was playing, I thought I had that one more chance at the pincer. No, it's gone. I updated it, and it's like, it's gone. Now it's fucking Reggie Rock, who's fucking impossible now. Now I have to grind, and that's for like 2 weeks with that, and I gotta grind over and over again until I get that, but I'm already grinding over and over again in the main game to get the Mega Mewtwo Y, and I gotta grind over and over again to get all these other EXs, so I'm not getting much experience out of it. They updated with more main stages. I'm like, I'm probably gonna catch heat for saying this, but I don't like that game anymore. Like, just losing the pincer was, like, I was already kind of into it, not very into it. I'm like, And then it's like, okay, I'm not playing every single day. They give us this pincer where it's like every day you have one chance to catch this son of a bitch, and if you mess up, you gotta wait the next day. I had one more day, but because I updated it and whatever, I was gonna see get my coins for the day and whatnot now. And I feel like I almost lost that, but then it's because I'm not playing every single day. I couldn't power up all my fire types or whatever the pincer was weak against. So it feels like I got punished for not playing the game enough or something like that, if it makes sense. Like, it's weird. I'm like, I don't like when games do that. Like, because I wasn't playing enough, because I'm not on your timetable, I'm the one that gets punished. Like, I want to play games when I want to play them, not when the game decides to give me that, Some games do okay with that, and other games like this, it's just kind of, and it just smacks of that. Like I have work and all this other stuff. I have all this other, responsibilities. I don't play that console every time. Like, usually when I'm home, by myself and home and whatever, I'll play my bigger consoles, my PlayStation 2, my PlayStation 3, because I'm getting like LPs out and stuff like that, or just doing or footage for anything, or just playing games in general, trying to get them out of the way. Like, I'm mainly focused on that. Handhelds are just for like when I'm outside or when I'm at work and I'm on break and have like that kind of time to do that sort of thing. That's why again, it was like taking me forever to do the Bravely Default thing. I did get all the dragons. Vampire DeRosso beat my ass, though. Although he doesn't take spells very well, I learned on that, so I'm like, alright, next time I fight him, I'm gonna make the girls maybe maybe I'll have them do shit where they're like dodging attacks or something like that to kind of keep my party alive, because he hits like a... Because you thought the dragons hit hard, holy shit. And I need to find out, like, how I get light spells, because if he's a vampire, he's darkness, so I gotta hit him with light spells, or if I can, or just, again, do the defensive thing. Because I only fought him that one time, and I just noticed, like, spells weren't doing shit to him. Like usually, the spellcasters, my two ladies, are my hardest hitters. With this fight, they were, like, doing barely 1,000 each turn. I'm like, no, this ain't gonna work. I need to rethink my setup. I need to build up their jobs or something like that, and kind of come at them again with a different strategy than I'm used to doing. It helped me out for a while, but it's not going to work against this guy. But yeah, I'm probably done with Shuffle. I'll play it, but I'll be like, eh. Because, I don't know, you feel like you're getting levels, but they're like getting them very, very slowly. Once you get like the stronger Pokemon, they gain levels a lot more slowly, and at some point it's like, ugh. Like, you gotta play the same stage now over and 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 over again. Repetition. And I say this as, of course, one of my favorite games is the Samurai Warrior series and all the anime stuff based off that Koei title, which, that's repetition too, but that's repetition and actually going the fuck somewhere with it. This was just me playing the same stage over and 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 over again. Like, there's repetition, and there's repetition with not going anywhere with it, and that's what shuffles become. I still like Rumble World, you know. I'll still get through that at some point, but I gotta get to my main games, because... But yeah, that's the podcast. Thanks for listening, guys. Wow, this took a little quicker than I thought, but that's cool. Actually, no, I was going to talk about one more thing. I was thinking about it while I'm just taking it easy. Like Spencer Blaze told me about the thing where it's like the gaming things. And I mentioned that to the multi-tap. You know, they answered with their most, what made them the most saltiest and the most triumphant. This time I'm going to talk about what actually brought me to tears as far as gaming goes. And I have like 2 examples for this. One very nearly did, and one actually did. The very nearly one, because I was like still young and maybe not known for that sort of thing. It wasn't like Evo Search of Eden. The end of Chapter 3, and I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, end of Chapter 3 or Act 3, like transitioning to Act 4, there's like a really big, like, dark scene at that, and something bad goes down with that, and it's just like, wow, you see like untold devastation. You get to see what happens, so it's kind of a really somber moment. Like, you just all that you were just in that part, and now it's, again, I don't want to spoil too much. That game's rough, honestly. People who played that game before will tell you to save your points so you can evolve and keep yourself alive for like the really tough boss battles. Like, there's plenty of those for that game. Evo Search of Eden for the Super Nintendo. The other one that actually did make me tear up was the sad ending parts of Final Fantasy VI's opera scene when Celes is like the war hero. He doesn't come back, and so she's like up and sad and upset, and she just sings near the end and just throws the flowers out into the. I guess I forget how it goes. Like, she throws the flower, like the bouquet of flowers, and it just drifts out to like the wind or the sea or whatever what it was for that story. I'm just like, wow. Yeah, that's just I remember. And if they do the multi-tap again, I'll have to remember and ask, like, what was your saddest moment? What made you almost like tear up legit in that? So it's just something that came to mind. I'll keep trying to think of things as best I can. But yeah, once again, that was the single player /1 player podcast. Thank you all for listening. Take care.